Well, good evening campers. Tuesday, sun shining, t-shirt on, beautiful. Let's get cracking. I'm in swim 5 tonight. Got somebody in swim 3, got somebody in swim 9, so it was either going to be 11 or 12 or 5 or 6. I'm not touching 6, so I'm going to go into 5. Right then campers, I have got 2 rods in. Bivvy's up, as you can see. It's a little bit blowy, but never mind. I haven't done a lot of filming, and that's because on the, I'll show you where they've gone, usual spot, island. I've got 1 rod on the island this time, but I'm trying solid PVA bags. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because Ben's been smashing his syndicate with PVA bags, and he hasn't used them a lot in the past, and he's been having some great results. So I thought, well, why not? You're never too old to learn a new trick. So that's what I've got on the island rod. I had every intention of sticking this camera on a stand and going through it, but it was just chaos. I caught me a few pellets in the bag, put me a hook bait in the bag. Thought, I know what I'll do. I'll pour in a little bit of tiger nut syrup in there, which is PVA friendly. I had a major spillage of the bottle of syrup. It's gone all in my tackle box, in my bag, it's gone everywhere. So it was a trauma. So I spent most of the time cleaning all that up, but I've got that rod out on the island now, and I've also just underarm cast one about 25 foot out in front of me. I saw a fish show, it's worth a go, isn't it? And my left hand rod, which I haven't done yet, I'm going to stick on the pads where I had that fish the other week. So I'm going to make myself a brew before I put that rod in, because I'm gagging. It's good to be back though. Right, there's my 3rd rod, just about to go out. A little bit of PVA stocking with some crunched up tiger nut and maple boilies in there. Little pop up, Ronnie rig, lead set up. What I tend to do though is I'll move this up like that and put a PVA nugget on the hook point. I'll show you that. That does 2 things. That stops any tangles or anything. Like when you cast out, the PVA bag could slide back, hit the little stop and mess about with the position of the pop-up. But also the reason I do it is when that foam pops up, I know exactly where I'm going to chuck my freebies on. Well, that was completely mental. I cast in my left hand rod, PVA foam popped up, happy days. As I'm chucking a couple of freebies over the top, just 14 and 16 mil boilies, I see some bubbles about 6 foot away from me by the pads, and all of a sudden this common just rose out. It was underneath my feet. By the time it came out of the water, it was underneath my feet. I thought, oh, there's fish in the pads again, there's fish in the pads. So happy days. Right, so there's one to the pads, that's my left hand rod. Then I've got one probably just about there, in line with the double tree over there. And then standard corner of the island that's let me down so far this year, but you've got to keep going, ain't you? I'm sure something will happen sometime this year. I've got faith. I don't know if you can see that, but the old pads are moving lovely. There's definitely fish in there. Around the edges of the pad. They're all just there, low. Bloody typical, isn't it? As soon as I stop filming, one jumps out. Oh. Alright there campers, just a little update. I don't know if you can see, but I'm absolutely soaked, covered in slime, which is a good thing, because my left hand rod to the pads just went off. I was just making myself a brew. It was about 8 o'clock, and the old buzzer went. Looked at the rod was bent right over again, so struck it, played it, only played it for like 5 minutes. I knew it was a grassy, netted it. As soon as you got it in a net, it went bonkers. I mean proper bonkers. I don't know if you caught grasses before, but it's like that. We've all got that one mate who, when we go out, he's nice and calm. A few beers inside him, he's like a whirling dervish. That's what grass carp are like. So I got absolutely KO'd in fish slime, just transferring it from the net into the wasteling. So eventually, I think I've got some video of it when it weren't beating me up. There is a little bit of video on there. I think that I've got fish slime on my chin and it's hanging down like a bleeding dribble. I don't think I'll use that bit, but yeah, proper unit of a grassy, 2714, happy days. So I have had that before. There's only 2 grasses in here, the big one and one about, well, £19, something like that, 18, 19 pounds. So I'm absolutely buzzing, made up, and it's still daylight out there. So did all the video and all that like I always do. Got me rig straight back on the spot. Oh, well, hopefully, fingers crossed. So yeah, absolutely made up. Yeah, I'll show you the fish. What a beast! What a unit of a grassy! Absolutely buzzing. Love that. I've met this one before, but in the darkness, so it's nice to see him in the sunshine. Wow. Thank you so much. So that's a right little settler, and I can relax a bit now. So Ben's not with me today because he's got a week off, so I'm making the most of him not being here. Free, come on. Yeah, it's all exciting stuff, loving it. Well, I'll tell you what, campers, it is about 11:30. I've only got a celebratory brew on the go, haven't I? I've just had a fantastic fish. Oh Christ, can't believe it. And the good news is it was from a solid PVA bag. Come on. See, you don't know if you don't try these things. Off the corner of the island, so that's a double yes. I'm absolutely made up. Yeah, I can't believe it. Absolutely stunning mirror. I can't believe my luck, to be honest with you. Oh, what a winner. Second fish of the night, and it's only 11 o'clock. Can't believe it. I'm so happy. It's perfect, isn't it? Let's have a look at the other side, shall we? How cool is that? What a fit looking fish. Well, good morning campers, it's just gone 5:30 and I'm up. It's a beautiful morning, have a look at that. So, what else happened last night? After I had my I was sitting in the dark making up a solid PVA bag. I couldn't believe it at about 11, 12 o'clock. But clipped up that rod, cast it back out there with a new bag on. Sometime in the middle of the morning, Christ knows what time it was, I had a take on that one again. Sadly, nothing come of it. Don't know what the situation was with that. Maybe it picked up the lead, but when I struck into it, there was nothing there at all. It was a good run, to be fair. No ducks this time, but in that bag my hook link is like 3 inches, maybe just over 3 inches long, so maybe that had something to do with it, but it's positive, so I'm counting that as another take really. So 2 takes off the solid bags. Yeah, I like that. It's alright. I might continue fishing one rod with a solid bag, that's for sure. So all in all, it was a pretty successful overnighter. So what I'm going to do is finish my brew, start having a little slow pack down, and go to work. I'll tell you what, I've just realised, where's my shoes? Everyone knows I wear these things when I fish on my overnighters. Well, as you can see, I've only got one left. I think what might have happened is when I had that take last night, the first one from the island, I jumped out of my pit. I always put them in front of the door, so they're ready to slip on as soon as I jump out. I think in the darkness, when I had that take, I might have kicked one in the lake because I can't find the other one anywhere. I don't think the fox would have come in and just took one without my knowledge. They were there when I went to sleep. I played that fish in my socks, and I went to find them and they weren't there, or one of them weren't there, so excuse me. So I'm kind of hoping that if I've kicked it in the lake, it'll be like a boat, won't it, and float, and I'll be able to have a little look up and down the margins, see if I can find it. If not, I have to get myself a new pair, won't I? But it's a small price to pay, isn't it? One missing croc for 2 fish. Happy days. Well, I don't know if you can see that, but right in the centre of the screen, there's my bloody croc that I kicked in last night. So I'll have to try and winkle that out later. Well, good evening campers. It is Thursday evening, and I managed to winkle a pass out of the missus because I had such a good session on Tuesday. I chanced my arm, said I'd like to keep my run going if possible. So she said, oh, celebratory, what? So she said, yeah, go ahead. So happy days. So cut a long story short, I'm back in swim 5, fishing one rod to the pads, one rod to open water and one rod to the island, exactly the same as Tuesday. The reason I'm in 5 is because there's a couple of people scattered about, and there aren't a lot of places to go really. There's been a lot of people fishing on here today, so this is the only bank that was kind of like left alone. So I thought, well, I'll jump in here. Because I wasn't under too much pressure because of Tuesday, I thought, well, you know, just give it a go, see what happens. And I've had one. I can't believe it. It's been, I think it's about, what's the time now? It's 10:23 now, so I had it at about 9:45, I think. Lovely little common. It's my first common of the year, so yeah, absolutely buzzing with that. It was the left-hand rod to the pads again, so I yeah, well happy. So I made myself a brew, trying to get organised. I've got some sort of new tripod thing I'm trying for the camera. I couldn't really get it sussed out for the fish, but I've got the video of the fish, so Have a little look at this. Well, it seems I'm on a little bit of a flyer at the moment, campers. Thursday night, the missus gave me a pass. And I got a little comment that. That'll do. That'll do indeed. So my lucky run continues. Absolutely made up with that, so superb. Let's have a little look at the other side. Oh, there you go. Absolutely superb. Buzzing with that. Fantastic. That's me all done, packed up, ready to go. Thanks for watching, really appreciate all the views, comments, likes and all that old jazz. As I always say, really appreciate it. If you're fishing, good luck, tight lines and all that, and hopefully I'll see you next week.